I'm getting ready to do my show. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, mommy. It's good to see you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our very special meditation with the moon, our special edition of Sip with Rev Melissa, where we spend the evening with the moon and we do a full-blown spiritual practice. So just to prepare, I don't need these on. Just to prepare, please have something to write with and something to write on. So if you have a journal or a pad, get that, let that be handy, because what we do when we do our meditation with the moon is a full-blown spiritual practice of inspirational reading, inspirational journaling, and meditation and prayer. So this is a spiritual practice that we do every day, right? In the beginning of the day, before we start our day, to set the tone for our day, we spend time with the indwelling spirit that is always present within us. So welcome again. I am Rev Melissa. I am an ordained interfaith minister, religious science practitioner, spiritual life coach, and spiritual director, senior minister at Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living in New York City. And this is my ministry of joy, where I support people in living life in joy, connected to their yes. And I say, if you need any support, reach out and we can schedule a free consultation. So we do SIP Monday through Fridays at 10:30 a.m. and we do meditation with the moon once a month with the full moon. So we always start our meditation with the moon with some information about the moon. So this full moon is in Capricorn. It is also known as the buck moon, and it's known as that because the male buck antlers shed and then they regrow antlers every year. And when they grow back in, they grow back larger and more impressive as the years go by. This moon is also known by many other names, and I'm just going to share a few. The blessing moon, hay moon, the thunder moon, the feather molting moon, the salmon moon, the berry moon, the moon when the choke cherries are ripe, the month of the ripe corn moon, and the raspberry moon. So you see that they're all related to nature. And Bob Roth from Transcendental Meditation would say, from the genius of nature. So technically, the moon turned completely full at 2:38 p.m. Eastern Time. But we'll be able to see the full moon for about 3 days. So if you missed it, you have until the morning of Friday to catch it. And I've been seeing peeps of it leading up to the full moon today, and it's been spectacular. So part of the reason why it's so spectacular is because it's a super moon. and it's our third super moon of 2022. And the super moons happen when a full moon coincides with the moon being closest to the earth in its elliptical orbit. So the supermoon, this one in particular, is the biggest and brightest supermoon of the year. And it intensifies everything, right? So we'll feel things more intensely when we have a supermoon, and partly because the moon is particularly close to the earth. And if it's particularly close to the earth, it's particularly close to us, right, Erica? It's good to see you. So the next full moon in August will be the final super moon of the year. So this year we have 4 super moons, and this one is the biggest and the brightest. So I also wanted to share little spiritual aspects of the full moon in Capricorn. And this is from Chelsea Jackson. She says, since the moon is the luminary that governs over our physical bodies, you may notice that you're feeling a bit more drained than usual this week. So be sure to get plenty of rest and drink plenty of water. The spiritual meaning of the July 2022 super buck moon in Capricorn is all about realigning with your long-term goals through embracing discipline and agency of yourself. The full moon in Capricorn is asking that you tap into your logical mind instead of your emotional one, while also stepping up to the plate and embracing responsibility. And we know responsibility is what? Our ability to respond. So it could look like shifting your relationship to rules, or taking responsibility for something that you haven't been taking responsibility for, or it may be releasing a self-limiting belief of some kind. So whatever this full moon uncovers for you, it's a good time to plan your next move. So you might be inspired to immediately roll up your sleeves and get to work, but the full moon is also a time of rest and reflection. So embrace the clarity that comes along with this lunation and try not to be too hard on yourself now. I always say, it's often said, be gentle and kind with yourself. Remember, Rome was not built in a day. So there is some moon information there. And I just want to acknowledge folks who have just joined in. Erica, it's good to see you. Timothy, it's always good to see you. Thank you for joining. And Etnan, I'm sorry if I'm getting your name wrong. It's good to see you too. All right. So let's get into our spiritual practice with the moon. And as we go through the spiritual practice, just imagine that the moon, this super duper fabulous moon, is right there with you, because it is. It is. It's all around us and it's all within us. And you might even feel the pull of it. So our inspirational reading is coming to you from the Science of Mind magazine. This is last month's that I want to read, June 8th. And this daily inspiration is by Reverend Dr. David Alt. So it's titled, Be the Map Maker. And the opening quote is from Emerson. Imitation is suicide. Insist on yourself. Never imitate. I love that quote. Then Ernest Holmes wrote in the Science of Mind text, since we can all conceive of a greater good than we have so far experienced, we all have the ability to transcend previous experiences and rise triumphant over them. And this is the brief message. Within the teachings of shamanism, there is a rite of passage that encourages the initiate to not follow the maps drawn by others, but instead to become the map maker. to find their internal compass and use all of their senses to find the path that is true for them. Similarly, Joseph Campbell urges, if you can see your path laid out in front of you, step by step, guess what? It's not your path. Your own path you make with every step that you take. That's why it's your path. Okay. These pillars of wisdom resonated within me long before I read those words. When first attempting to write a book, I visited a large retail store and made my way to the self-help spirituality section. Hoping for motivation, I wanted to practice visualizing my book's appearance on the shelf. Instead, my first thought was, who needs another book? It was surprisingly deflating to see aisle after aisle of titles. I felt I had nothing original to offer. When I shared this feeling with a friend, he teasingly said, yeah, no one should write another love song when so many already exist. He helped me realize that no matter how many books exist, no one else can be the map maker of my personal creative process. When Emerson challenges us to insist on ourselves, he was offering instruction to make our own map of inspired action. Our essential nature can never fully breathe by living a path of imitation. We learn to trust ourselves through trusting our instincts, passions, and unique inner callings. I celebrate my originality. I welcome in my own divine design. I love everything about that. Be your own map maker. Imitation is suicide. All right. So that was our inspirational reading, and I hope it inspired you. So, next, get ready with your journal and your pen if you don't have it already, because we do some inspirational journaling in our spiritual practice. So to prepare ourselves for the journaling, I invite you to right now prepare yourself for a little meditation. It's going to be a brief meditation just to set us up for the writing. Okay? So put everything to the side. Have nothing in your hands, nothing on your lap. If you're sitting, have your feet on the floor, grounding yourself. If you're lying down, just be aware because you want to stay awake during the meditation. Okay? All right. So let's just settle in with our breath and let's start there. Let's take a deep breath in and let it out. Take another deep breath in and let it out. And one more deep breath in and let it out. Just gently close your eyes or lower your gaze and just draw yourself within where everything begins, within where everything is created, within, within is where our treasure has always been, as the Tao Te Ching says. And so we go deeper within, allowing our breath to just be gentle and easy, gentle as the water, just allowing ourselves to settle in even more. Releasing the day from our space now, just letting it all go. Invite yourself to be here in this present moment and allow your breath to guide you. And as we continue to go in, we go deeper and we go higher. And we just release any tension we may be feeling anywhere in our body, in our temple. Gently scan yourself, your body from the top of your head, just releasing any tension. I usually feel it in my shoulders, so we could roll our shoulders back and just allow them to rest easily. Releasing any tension in the jawline, your forehead. Just scan the body, your back, your front, your bottom, all the way down to your feet. And let's just be here. In the silence for a moment. All that is present is the presence. So I'm going to share a word with you. Just keep your eyes closed, gently breathe, stay in this meditative space. And with your next breath, invite the full moon in with you. Just picture its brightness. Picture how big it is. It's so close to the earth. It's so close to you. Just breathe. Breathe in the moon and breathe out the moon. That energy. And as you do, listen to these words. Your great wave awaits. What is your next greatest purpose you've been scared to proclaim? Your great wave is awaiting your greatest service to the collective. Allow the universe to conspire to help you be the channel for what really matters most. No question, it's something that might seem too lofty or not in your realm of knowing, but that's not up to you. Your role is to become that channel to see what wants to come through you, to allow the greatest wave of cosmic proportion to take you in service of the evolutionary whole. Why did you come here? Set your highest intention and hold on for the ride. Your great wave awaits you. Why did you come here? Allow the universe to conspire for your greatness. And so we just breathe that in, allowing the moon's gravity pull to pull you into that which is yours to do. Just as the moon's gravity pulls the oceans towards it, it pulls us towards it. And so just take a breath, a deep breath with the moon, and feel its pull towards you. Even though the moon is so far away, it is large enough that its force of gravity is strong enough for us to feel it. Just as the oceans are pulled towards the moon's gravity slightly, so are we. And so just allow yourself to feel the pull. Feel the pull of that which you desire to be in service to in the world. Even if it seems too lofty, it's okay. Remember, imitation is suicide. So let's take a deep breath in. We're just going to sit in the silence for another minute. And then we'll move into some journaling. We'll feel the moon's pull in the silence. Just take a breath, staying in the meditative state. And with ease, open your eyes. Take your journal or your pad and paper and pen. And this is the question that the moon will answer. So you're simply taking dictation for the moon. What is pulling you like the moon pulls the ocean? What is pulling you like the moon pulls the ocean? What is your next great wave? And just allow the moon to write. And if you feel as if there's nothing there, just start writing. Write the word moon and just allow yourself to be guided, to be pulled by that moon energy. And we'll do our inspirational journaling for a couple of minutes. And you could start to bring that to a pause. You could come back to this later on this evening or pick it up in the morning when you do your spiritual practice. Let's just thank the moon for its guidance and for its love, for its light, knowing that you can call it anytime and continue to feel its pull. And so we're going to close with a quote from Toni Morrison. She said, "Your life is already artful, waiting, just waiting for you to make it art." Your life is already artful, waiting, just waiting for you to make it art. What is your next great wave? Let's ride it together. So thank you all for being with me this evening for our meditation with the moon. I hope that resonated with you. Continue if you feel that there is more for you to receive this evening. Just have a quiet, peaceful, light evening. Okay? All right. So I hope you all would join me tomorrow for Sip with Rev Melissa, Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m., right where you're watching me now. And thank you all again for being with me, Mommy, Erica, Tim, Enid. Yes, thank you so much, all of you, and all of you who are watching the replay or watching in silence. I really appreciate your presence. So, have a good evening. Peace and blessings, peace and justice. We are living life in joy. Yes, we are connected to our yes. Peace.